welcome back to Brassionomics, everybody. Scot Appert joins us now, and if you heard me trying to describe what he does before the break, it's a lot of big words, it's a little difficult, but to break it down, basically he is a healthy ecological builder and has inspected and provided consulting services for hundreds of homes, commercial spaces, and building projects across America, and works closely with his clients to provide superior building inspections, mitigation, and healthy ecological building services. I almost got through that
almost, Heather.
So close. It was that last word. How are you, Scott?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for joining us.
Well, happy to be here.
Well, this is actually kind of interesting to me. We're going to talk about the top 10 factors that kind of contribute to indoor air quality. And I think it's something because you can't really see air unless it's smoggy. You might not understand that it's hurting you, or you're smelling it. You might not understand that there's harmful things in it. So we're going to talk about, I guess, just factors that affect the quality of the air you breathe, and I guess ultimately how it affects your health.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's just get right into it. This was interesting to me. We're talking about fresh air, and EPA says indoor air quality is actually worse than outdoor air. So I wanted you to kind of explain that to us a little bit.
Yeah. Indoor air tends to be locked in, right? So anything that is in the house and that off gases, say from carpeting or from cabinets or from any pesticides or anything that's a toxin, will be more locked into the house. And we open in the door and we walk in with our shoes on, and we've been exposed to countless different things. And then the products that were used to build a house, a lot of those can be toxic. So basically, you're just locking all that in.
Kind of trapped inside of it all.
Yeah, the windows are shut, even when we have windows open. But outdoor is so much, there's diluted, even if there's toxin. Yeah, it's moving, exactly. So, yeah, it's I think it's about 10 times more unhealthy than outdoor air.
Wow. So just like turning on a fan and circulating the air you already have inside, not probably going to help. So what do you recommend? I mean, keeping the windows open?
Yeah, I do recommend keeping the windows open. Also having an air exchange fan that will go on, a whole house fan that will go on, say, a certain time of the day, every day. But even during the winter, I always have my window open just a little bit.
Or when you're not home, maybe.
Or when you're not home. Yeah, anything to get an air exchange. Houses are built that will have a natural air exchange, but they're being filtered by your house. So there's, houses are naturally leaky. But you want fresh air that will come in. You can get a fresh air exchange, heat exchanger that will draw fresh air into your heating system. Yeah. Those are good things too. Any way to get a fresh air in and to get the old and stagnant air or the air with toxins in it just exchange outside.
I see. Well, it seems like this second point you brought with you today might kind of help too. You said clean the house and keep it uncluttered, and I imagine that might help you have cleaner air as well.
Yeah, well...
so a problem for me personally, but...
Well, one of the biggest, dust, I hate dusting, but, the more cluttered and stuff, the more areas are that the dust can collect. Yeah. Dust, most of the dust in our house is actually dead skin cells. Because we slough
gross,
off
but true.
So much dead skin cells. We're, recreating our skin like, a lot. I don't know the actual number, but so... and animal dander. Yeah. Most of us have pets. So, and then, all the dust that's coming in from the outside. There's pollens. There's any number of things. But, and when we dust or when we vacuum, if we're using just a conventional vacuum, what we're doing, especially carpets collect a lot of dirt. Yeah. Especially when we're walking in the house with outdoor shoes. So I always recommend that outdoor shoes stay at the front door and you have indoor shoes, because then you're not, all the things that you're walking on in the outdoors, whether it be oil or pesticides or whatever it is, you're not bringing into the house. Yeah. And, the carpet will collect it. And carpet or vacuums tend to just recirculate. They do obviously pick up the dirt.
Yeah, I see stuff going into the tank.
But they also they're not sealed. Most of them are not sealed, and so they just blow a lot of the dirt around. Oh. So I always recommend having a HEPA vacuum. It's really important.
What is a HEPA vacuum? It just traps the stuff and does a better job?
It's a HEPA filter. Okay. So it collects all the way down to 0.03 microns, which is very small.
It's clean. Do a better job.
Yeah. So you're not vacuuming up the dirt and spreading around your house.
Yeah. Well, and this next element that we're talking about, things that affect indoor air quality here, I think everybody has become more aware of kind of mold issues.
Yeah.
And I think from what you've told us before, it's related to a lot of illnesses people have as well.
Yeah, it can be very detrimental to your health. It can lead to lots of things, and just on the minor level, like postnasal drip and lead, makes it easier to get sick. It suppresses your immune system. There's just lots of things and then full blown, if you do have either sensitivity or a major mold problem, it can lead to disease and very,
wow.
A lot of people can get very sick from it.
Yeah, so simple stuff, I guess, with mold would be leaving your fans on, keeping surfaces clean. But is there any other tips?
Well, for sure, if you're taking a shower, using an exhaust fan, the key is at 60% above of relative humidity, mold will tend to grow.
Okay.
So keeping your humidity in the house lower than 60% is important. Mm-hmm. So if you're cooking on the stove, if you're taking a shower, all those types of things that create, even just breathing, we create a lot of moisture in the home.
Well, we're not going to be able to stop breathing. So.
No, but you can, there's people that talk that tend
Don't come to my house. Probably above 60% there.
So anything you can do, and then also just the same thing, air exchange. So, keep air moving. Stagnant air can contribute to mold growth too. But, anytime you see, areas of moisture, like in your bathroom, making sure that your tub and your shower are cleaned and you're not getting those little mold growths around where the caulking is, making sure everything stays caulked. So you keep the moisture out of the building materials, where it's supposed to be. Anytime you see any moisture on your windows and stuff, instead of just letting it sit there and then potentially mold can grow on that, just keeping it clean.
Yeah. All that proactive stuff is going to be a lot cheaper and less expensive than probably bigger problems.
Oh, yeah. And then anytime there's ever a water leak, whether it's small or big, to take care of it right away, because after 48 to 72 hours, mold will grow.
It's pretty quick.
If there's a water leak. So paying attention to drains under your sink. But if there's ever a hot water tank that leaks, or a leak in your roof or a skylight, something like that, if you notice something, just take care of it right away, because it can lead to significant amounts of mold that grow, and then you don't always see them until it becomes really a bigger problem. Yeah.
So either you're sick, or it's just going to cost a lot of money to fix whatever the problem is.
It's always cheaper to take care of things right away.
Yeah, and, we're only going to be able to get to about 5 here. I was hoping for 10, but we're chatty people here. This one I'm really interested in, because you walked in and I was like, I want to know about Glade plugins. How do those affect your home? And you actually had on this list here of things that affect indoor air quality household products. And I assume that kind of that falls into the cleaners and air fresheners category.
It does. Most cleaners, air fresheners, are chemical based. Mm-hmm. So, and most scents that are chemical based are either petrochemical or some type of chemical that are not good for you. Anything that's that uses essential oil as the scent tends to be, I can't say without knowing what product it is, tends to be not harmful to you. But all these chemical scents are harmful.
So taking something like, the room sprays or the Febreze and just spraying it around, it's not going to be good for you.
No, it's not a substitute for, like Febreze.
Cleaning and burning a candle? Is that a better way to go?
Yeah, but make sure that the candle's not lead-based.
Yeah.
Candles actually can be a very big contributor. So candles are great, but just make sure that they're like that they're not lead-based wicks, and that they don't have the same type of scents that are based on petrochemicals.
Yeah, so just finding better products, I suppose.
Yeah, well, it's just being really careful what you introduce in your home. Mm-hmm. So, especially with children, you're very careful, I assume, with what you would put into a child's mouth, for, feeding them and all that. Well, if your children are playing on the carpet, or if they're, if they're breathing the air, then it's really important. Whatever you're introducing to your home will contribute either positively or negatively.
Yeah, actually, the carpet, one more thing on this note made me think of something. Have you seen those, it's a product that you sprinkle on the carpet before you vacuum it? It's like an odor thing?
Yep.
Is that kind of another one of these harmful things?
Depends on the product. Is like a lot of them are baking soda based, which do absorb odors. You put them in your, the boxes in your fridge, they do just absorb odors. So that tends to not be a problem.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, we only just have time for one more. So can you pick one more thing you think people should know that's important element of affecting indoor air quality for us before we go to break?
Sure. I'll deal with two, but they'll kind of the same.
Two in one? Okay.
Yeah. So if your garage is attached to your house and you pull your car into the garage, you have exhaust from your car. So it's really important that you have your door is sealed really well, so weatherproofing between the door that goes into your house. And also it's a good idea to have an exhaust fan that actually turns on when you drive your car in and will depressurize the garage to draw that air out. And that kind of goes along with stove fireplaces, heaters, and chimneys from your gas-fired furnaces and hot water tanks. Those, if they're not if they're defective at all or just not working properly, you can get pollution from the burning of the gas, which is definitely can be deadly, or just contribute to, if it's just a minor issue, can still contribute to the negative air pollution in your home.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us and sharing all of these things. We didn't get to all of them, so if you want to learn more from Scott, you can go to our Facebook page and find the link to his website, or go just directly there. Do you want to give everybody your website?
It's biohealthyhomes.com.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff to think about, but if you want to, stay healthy and keep yourself from getting sick, I think there's a few tips that could definitely help everybody out. So thanks so much, Scott.
You're welcome.
All right. To be here. When we come back, we're going to talk with Eileen Schoner a little bit about some things you might see on TV that have to do with interior design. My name's Heather Moore. You're listening to Brashonomics. We'll be right back.